Now American 95, 10 miles out on the ILS.
American 95, Kennedy Tower, following over 319 ahead, 1050.
Hello everybody, I'm DerTebbers. This is Flight Simulator X-Plane Spotlight. We are in Oklahoma City at Will Rogers International Airport aboard a Rockwell Turbo Commander. Very interesting livery. She does, yes she does, she's got some flaps. She opened up. Oh look, main exit opening, look at that. Woo. Very nice. I don't think we need any flaps, so let's get rid of that. Alright, let's get aboard. It's a little bit quieter in here. Alright, let's run up our two Lycoming IO. What are these things? IO 540 E1B5 air-cooled flat six pistons, 290 horsepower apiece. There's a serious differential between internal and external sound on this particular aircraft. Alright, the Aero Commander 500 family is a series of light twin. It's an interesting sound. Light twin pistons. I'm going to turn it down here. We can go out here. Look at that. She's just going to take to the sky. She's going to be a meteor. Wow. Let's not stall the plane there. It's both piston engine and turboprop variants of this aircraft. Originally built by the Aero Design and Engineering Company in the late 1940s, renamed the Aero Commander Company in 1950 and became a division of Rockwell International from 1965. The idea for this light business twin was conceived by Ted Smith, who's a project engineer at Douglas Aircraft Corp. He worked part-time after hours through the 1940s, and a group of those engineers formed the Aero Design and Engineering Company. First flew on 23 April 1948, accommodates up to 5 people, and powered by those two Lycoming pistons. It is an all-metal high-wing monoplane, retractable undercarriage. It uses components from the Vultee BT-13 Valiant. And the market segment that they were going for was small feeder airline firms. It was originally designed to carry 7 passengers, but it instead found use in the private business aircraft and military market. Now, Walter Beach test flew the aircraft in 1949. He expressed interest in buying the project, but passed on it and eventually developed the Beechcraft Twin Bonanza. The company leased, at no cost, a 26,000 square foot factory at Bethany, near Oklahoma City, to build this aircraft. Nearly 10,000 hours of redesign work went into building this aircraft. Now, under the ownership of Rockwell in the 1960s, World War II pilot Bob Hoover demonstrated the Shrike Commander, as it was called, for decades in a variety of managed energy routines, including single-engine and engine-out aerobatics. His Shrike Commander is in display in the colors of the Evergreen International Aviation at the Stephen F. Udvar Hayes Center at the Smithsonian Air and Space Institute. Now, one U-4B became the presidential transport aircraft for President Dwight D. Eisenhower between 56 and 60, and was the smallest Air Force One and the first to wear the now familiar blue and white livery. Now, the unpressurized long version 680FL was operated as a small package freighter by Combs Freight Air in the 70s and 80s, Suburban Air Freight in the 80s and 90s. This aircraft was very popular because it's pilot-friendly. Now, especially in that design because it had a 380 horsepower supercharged engines under each wing. Now, very interesting here. In the 1950s, when developers were working to satisfy the Civil Aeronautics Authority, that is the precursor to the FAA, for certification of the 500, they chose a rather novel way to demonstrate single-engine safety. They removed one of the two-bladed propellers, secured it in the aft cabin, and flew from Bethany to Washington, D.C. on one engine. Met with the CAA personnel, replaced the propeller, returned to Oklahoma in the conventional manner. They got nationwide coverage, which probably helped in sales, and they got their certification. This aircraft has a crew of 2, carries 4 passengers. Maximum speed 215 miles an hour, that is 187 knots at sea level. Range of 1,078 miles or 936 nautical miles, that is 1,735 kilometers. Alright, so we are in this aircraft. When you bring her in, she has a serious nose-up attitude. I'm going to cut that. I hit the air brakes, but I don't think there are any on this plane. I'm watching because I just barber poled the aircraft. Alright, we're going to go to actually try to land this thing. It has a serious power, I'll say that much. And because it was used in aerobatics, I'm just going to kind of flop it around like a dead fish. Because that just seems the thing to do. Alright, while we're in this slightly managed approach here, let's hit our numbers here. Shift 1. Alright, there's our cockpit. Looks good. 2. GPS. 3. Alright, there's all of our electrical, lighting, ice preparation. 4. Alright, close up of my gauges. There's my engine gauges. There's fuel. There's throttles. Volts. No, timer. And autopilot. Alright. Alright, down. Okay, looks like we're under extreme high energy here. Oh, yes, we are. Now, I don't think this aircraft actually has air brakes, but it seems to act as though it does when I hit my air brake button. I don't see any manifestation of air brakes on the aircraft. Whoa. So, my guess is it's left over from an aircraft that they borrowed this aircraft from. Alright, we got gears now. We're good. Okay, we're not so good because we only have 150 knots. Now this one feels turboprop. Because when I ask for power, it doesn't give it quite as readily as a prop plane, but that could just be because I can't actually hear those engines back there. Well, maybe it isn't turboprop. It just feels like it, and I think that has everything to do with the sound, or lack thereof, in this aircraft. Alright, let's put her down all nice and purty-like. It's actually a nice-looking aircraft. Let's not crash it. Nice landing. Probably actually a terrible landing. It's hard to land like that, I will say that much. Alright. It does, I think. Yep. Has reversing props. Alright, we're gonna shut down those engines. There they went. There we go. We got 3-blade props on here instead of 2-bladers that the original had. So this is obviously something more like a Shrike Commander than the original Aero Commander 500. Still, it's a pretty nice aircraft. A nice addition to your hangar if you're looking for another business aircraft. Has good legs on it, and it seems a little bit fun to fly. Just be aware that the aircraft has quite an up attitude to it. I've been DerTebbers. This has been your Flight Simulator X Plane Spotlight, the Rockwell Turbo Commander. Until next time, happy flying, everybody.
On the 1283 Kennedy Tower, greetings. Falling heavy, Boeing 767 touching down. Caution wake turbulence from 05012, number 24 right, set left.
Going in 48, 1283, copy all.
8 Lima Bravo, traffic just north of the airport, opposite direction along the track routing. A helicopter not under defeat, DSU in sight.